Hello guys, good morning, and thank you for joining me for episode 45 of Coffee with Coach. So let me just grab a couple of you guys in here. I know today we were a little bit behind this morning. I was trying to catch up on a lot of my kids' teachers, because you guys know, like, especially when your children get to middle school, they have multiple teachers. You know what I mean? Some of them have sort of 2 teachers per class in many cases. So and many of them are using different systems. Not all of the teachers are using Google Classroom. So I had to go in and make sure that I got all their class schedules, virtual class schedules for this week. And oh my God, there was a huge uproar with one teacher. The parents were going crazy this morning because one of the teachers worded her email incorrectly to us. She said that I will be returning to my usual curriculum or something like that, but she mentioned the word in class, and a lot of people got confused and thought that she meant that the school will be opening up again this Thursday and Friday. So the parents was like, my kids are not going back to school this week. The DOE is saying that April 30th, and we're not even sure if that's even going to happen, and maybe June. It was just, I understood her context, but I can see if you're reading the email, if you read her email and you're just skimming through it, you will easily think that this person said that the school was going to be back in session, like for kids to get dropped off this week. So it was, she just sent the email out before I hopped on live, clarifying what she meant by that email. You know, and I just always tell people sometimes, look it over again, because these teachers are going through a lot of emotions too. And I know she worded it in a way that she usually words her emails when school is normally in session. So I understood what she meant when she sent it. I didn't take it as, oh, she meant that Thursday and Friday school began. I'm sorry, y'all. If y'all commenting in the chat, I'm just tagging some people in here, letting everybody know that I am on. So I always try to just understand. Sometimes, people are channeling. Reading is fundamental. And so when I was looking at all these, people responses of the parents to this teacher, I wanted to, because the thing is that also a lot of these teachers, they should send the emails out like through blind copy, like BCC. Y'all know what I'm talking about? I know you know what I'm talking about, Sasha. Where, like, there's like probably hundreds of parents and tons of emails. So I'm like, just send it like BBC, so that way I'm not seeing 40, 50 emails. You know what I mean? So they're replying, and they're not probably really knowing that other parents are also seeing their response. So now people were just, the peanut gallery was starting to emerge, okay? And it's Monday. So it was just a mess this morning with them. And I understood what she meant, but again, the saying, first understand and be understood. But yeah, so today is our morning coffee with Coach. I do this show mainly inside of this. Hey, Linda, how are you? How's everything? Thank you so much for that message. Sasha said, yeah, that's weird, but let's not act. Yeah, that's what I was saying too. Like, let's not act crazy. Let's not blow this up, because in all the teachers are sort of like changing how they're wording things, because they're used to Mondays. Kids are coming to school. So obviously, So anyway, I do the show exclusively inside this group. Right now we're at episode 45 of Coffee with Coach. And basically when I do this show, it's basically giving you guys some insight on what your focus should be on. Like, what is the main importance going on right now? So this week is going to be a lot of stuff like on traffic building. And I know probably you guys have heard a lot of information about traffic building and what works, what doesn't work. I always tell people, focus when it comes to you building traffic into your business, when it comes to you building traffic to your brand, you got to focus on what is working for you. What is working? How are you capturing people? What is actually not just working, but also converting at the same time? So that's important. So today I want to talk about something that is geared towards, are you talking or are you targeting? Right? I know nowadays people are just mostly saying, maybe you're saying things that's just a popular thing to say or what's trending right now. But we got to be very strategic on our wording, on our languaging. So those of you who, if you didn't get a chance to grab my workbook, it's free. I encourage all of you guys to grab my workbook. I'm going to put an event up in this group so you guys can go to that link and grab it. I know last time some people say that they didn't get it, so I'm going to send another email blast out today to make sure that you guys got it. And if you got it already, great. If you didn't, at least you have that. I think awesome, Sasha, awesome. So again, the topic today is about, are you talking or are you just talking or are you just targeting? And all industries struggle with this. Like when I do go live, or when you're probably asking yourself, when I do go live or when I am posting, am I really saying things that's going to impact, empower, and cause people to actually take action on whatever your offer is, right? So how do you know whether or not you're just saying a whole bunch of blah, blah, blah versus you actually, getting people to say, I want to learn more about you, Sasha, or I want to learn more about you, Linda. And it's like, it's part of my workbook. I put it in there. It's like the 3rd or 4th page about knowing the awareness scale of your audience, or knowing the awareness scale of the people that you want to capture. Let me say that. Knowing the awareness scale of the people that you in fact want to capture. So nowadays, and I know some of you guys may deem this as it being annoying, but a lot of entrepreneurs right now are combing through their friends list like crazy. Okay. I know now, I'm not sure if the change recently happened or is about to happen, but I know Facebook is going to have it so where you can have now more than 5,000 friends on Facebook on your personal page. Because you guys know how it used to be in the past, where you can't go more than 5,000 on your personal page. You can have as many likes on your, have as many people following you on your business page and on your personal page, but actual friend request is only 5,000. But now they're going to definitely change that. And I think it's more of them saying, we got to keep people on this platform. There's so many up and coming platforms that's coming up, like TikTok. I know Will Smith just signed a deal with Snapchat. So there's a lot of other platforms that are up and coming or has been around for a while that they are now revamping. So that brings Facebook in the whole feeling like, listen, I still want to be number one. So I get that. Sasha said I get that for 100%. That workbook is amazing. Thank you, love. I feel like I need to pay you something more. God, how much would you pay for that? Tell me, how much would you pay? See, I wanted to do things differently with my workbook. A lot of y'all get a lot of ebooks and PDFs, from free stuff from people, and all it is just a lead magnet to get into their offer. You know what I'm saying? What I mean by that is they just dump it with links. And also what happens is they'll give you free resources, but it doesn't answer the question or it doesn't solve the problem. Like the actual title and subtitle that my workbook, it's not an ebook, it's a workbook, has on it, where I'm actually teaching you all the things that I listed. I actually teach you that in the workbook, and I make you do it. Like, it's not all heavy with text, it's heavy with you taking action. And I love that, because I want you guys to get the biggest outcome you possibly can. Oh my God, Sasha said I should have charged at least $35. That's good. She said, because I actually receive actionable items. Good. See, there, things that cause you to take action. As I mentioned, successful people take action. Thank you so much for saying that, Sasha. That means a lot. And I started out with the workbook actually being, and those of you who don't have the workbook, just go to CampbellSuccessNetwork.com. Tasha, if you could put the link in there in the chat, I'll appreciate that. But I wanted you. At first the workbook started out as a PDF. Remember when I first mentioned to you guys that I think it was like early last month that it's going to be a PDF. But as I was like building it, I was working with the team, and I was like, you know, putting in content, it just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, until a point where I told my team, I was like, okay, this is going to be 7 pages. And then when I sent them the content, they was like, Tisha, it's about almost 22 pages. And I'm like, all right, let's just put it out there. You know, sometimes you gotta. And I literally had to do a huge fasting of not watch that whole thing, 3 or 4 days that I was working on my workbook. I did not look at the news. I told you guys, like, there would be certain family members that would call me and I wouldn't answer because, you know, all they wanted to do was talk about what was current going on right now with the world. And I had to make sure that my spirit was in a peaceful space, a space of creation, because we have those moments in our businesses where we just sort of we just in that space of creation, you know what I mean? And that's what this workbook was for me. It was me having that space where I just had to create, and any negative information or negative anything would have took me off my track. So I locked myself in this room for at least like 2 hours those whole 3 days just to work on the workbook. Because the thing is like, yeah, it did take me 3 days. I already had a bunch of content, but I had to just bring it all together. So I hope you guys definitely grab it. CampbellSuccessNetwork.com is a really, really good workbook, just like Sasha said. So part of the workbook, it talks about you guys taking action. You know, it talks about you guys figuring out who is actually your target audience, who's actually a prospect. Prospecting is not only for network marketing. I want to let you guys know that. Someone got confused on one of my lives I did a couple of weeks ago. They was like, well, I'm not in network marketing, so I don't prospect. I said, boo. I felt like saying something else to her, but I was like, boo. Prospecting falls on all industries. It's not just network marketing where everybody's using that term prospecting, you know. And I think a lot of entrepreneurs need to start getting stop becoming so ignorant to terms and thinking that term is only general to a certain industry. I prospect every day. You know what I'm saying? Every day I'm prospecting for new people getting on my list, new leads, new all of that. So part of the workbook has a lot to do with prospecting, because if you're not bringing in fresh faces into your business, right, your business is not going to last, because you got to keep getting brand new people on your email list, on your text list, in your free groups on a consistent basis. New faces, new faces, new faces all the freaking time. That by far is very, very important. You got to continuously build that traffic and do less, like focus on not so much doing less talking, because you got to self-promote all the time, but making sure that you're being very clear and strategic on what it is that you need to say and what it is that you don't need to say, right? That by far is very, very important. So it's like, it has to become clear. Like this morning I was looking at a young lady. She had an ad that she posted, and I saw it come up on my timeline. So I looked at it, and I looked at the ad. The ad looked amazing, right? It wasn't so much clear on who she wanted, what type. She's a coach, so but it wasn't so much clear on what type of client she wanted, right? So in the comments, there was 99% of the comments were people saying, "Oh, I can't afford this program. I can't," like to her offer. So I was looking back and I was like, damn, you know, I really want to tell this girl that the reason why you're getting like broke 99 people or broke-minded people, because brokenness starts off in the mind, is because how you're wording it. You're not sending your ass out to the level 5 people. And those of you guys who don't know what the level 5 person is, go check out my workbook. I explain it in there. It wasn't targeted to them. It was mainly for those people who are in fear right now and panic, like, oh my God, the world's about to crash. The stock market is going down. The real estate market is hitting the fan. And it said all of that. So I was reading it and I got into a little bit of a state of like, oh my God, this is like a negative, copy here. And you're targeting those people who are in fear and worry. You're not targeting those people who is living in, who has the mentality of prosperity and faith, which is a totally different type of girl. Like I live in the world in my mind of prosperity and of faith, because I know my word, and I know that this particular thing that's going on in the world right now has happened all over and over again in the biblical world, has happened over and over again in humanity. People say that this is the worst of the worst of the worst, but they've had many cases like this years ago. I remember even reading up on Henry VIII, on how they had something called a sweating disease, and millions of Europeans died. Like millions of, King Henry had to be quarantined to a whole nother castle, and he lost a lot of nobles, and it was horrible. And there was no hospitals back then. There was no medical attention for people. They literally dug up this huge like grave site, right, and just dumped bodies in there. It's like they didn't even have like a tombstone or nothing. It was so crazy, right? So that's one example, and y'all can go back into your history and start to learn, cases of this happen, and how, I'm gonna be totally honest, we are at somewhat of an advantage, even though there's a lot of, deaths going on, and I totally get that. But just imagine, we were back in those times where we didn't have any resources, none at all. If you didn't have money like that, you were done. Your whole families got wiped out, like children, babies, everybody, So it's like, and going back to the ad, it's like, if we're not strategic on really pinpointing those level 5 people, you're going to get people that are not going to be fit for your product, service, or program. And then it's going to be like that ad I saw, that where it's just a lot of talking. Like, girl, you're just talking. You're not targeting. Right? You're just talking, just running like out here in New York, we say, girl, you just running your mouth right now. You're not really saying nothing. Hey, LaShawn, how are you? You're not saying nothing. You're really literally just running your mouth right now, right? So it makes sense, but it makes a lot of sense, where we gotta be very clear. Like, this is the person that I want. This is the type of customer or client. Hey, Renee Tubbs, how are you, sis? This is the type of customer or client, that is fit for my program. This is the type of customer or client that is fit for my service. This is the type of customer or client that is fit for my products, and not live in that space of where you're thinking like, well, people are losing their jobs. There's 10 million unemployment applications being processed, and you're living in that space and not understanding that God has polluted this world with trillions of people. Okay? God has provided this world with trillions of people. And when you really look at the numbers versus the actual numbers, you're going to step back and say, well, there's more people to help that needs what I have to offer. And it's not so much looking at price. They're looking at the opportunity for the ROI. Do y'all know what the ROI is? I want to make sure that some of y'all are really listening to my content. And if you don't know what it is, that's fine. Just say, I don't know. But I want y'all to post in the chat right now. What does ROI stand for? Sasha said, that was me 100% when I marketing online. No more. Absolutely. Get clear on, like, I get it when we're sitting and we're waking up in the morning, or we're sitting in that negative space, and we're like, well, you're seeing what's going on in the news. You're seeing what's going on in the world, on blogs, on YouTube. You're getting all these chain messages in your inbox, right? People are sending all these chain messages on, oh my God, watch this before they take it down, So you're in that space. And y'all got to understand, energy attracts energy. If you're in that space where you're thinking that the world is ending and that there's no way people are going to purchase your product, service, or course, that's the energy you're going to attract. It's like a wave effect, right? The wave that you put out is the actual, what you're going to get back is that momentum. Energy is momentum. So you got to say, okay, this is going on in the world, but in this space that I'm in right now, that does not apply to me, because what I'm looking for is my level 5 people. I'm looking for my level 5 people. Those are the people that I'm meant to help. Those are the people that I'm meant to nurture. Okay? And that's what is, in fact, very, very important. So, yes, return ROI does mean return on your investment. But I changed it, what the acronym ROI means. For me, it means, and I want y'all to type this in the chat for me, it means results, opportunity, and impact. Results, opportunity, and impact. So now let's get into this content here, because I want to break that down. And if you are one of my clients, I really don't care if you use this term, okay, if you are an actual client of mine. I was telling one of my clients that last night. She was using it for her webinar, and I was like, she's like, Coach, I hope you don't mind. I was like, girl, use it. Go ahead, right? Results, opportunity, impact. So those words, meaning that you have to reverse engineer everything you do. You have to start off first with, once you get that client or customer inside your course, your program, or somebody to purchase your product, right? You got to first say, well, what do I have set up for them? Like, what is the result? Like, what are they going to get while they're working with me, or while they're experiencing what I provided for them, and what type of person they're going to be after the fact? You know what I'm saying? Like, how their life is going to be transformed, how things are going to be different, right? Results are everything in business. They're everything. People don't often care about how good your website looks, how good, even y'all would not give a damn even how amazingly colorful and laid out my workbook is, if it didn't give you a result. Like Sasha just said, that it gave her an actual result. You know what I'm saying? Like, she was able to take action, have tools to actually take action. It wasn't just reading, it was actually it was all 100% action taking, right? So that's what makes my workbook one of the best, not even one of, is the best workbook that you'll ever get in your business, ever, okay? So you got to always remember the results is the main importance of your business over anything else. And in the minute you focus on that, I promise you guys, you're going to save a lot of money, because I'm telling you, there's a lot of slimy marketers out there, and trust and believe, I've spent money with them many a times, where they tell you to focus on the whole visibility of your business, which is important. But what do people care about? Hey, Mimi, how are you? Good morning. Welcome to the show. What do people care about? What does your consumers, your customers, your clients care about? They care about results. That's what they care about, and that's how you get referrals. That's how you get more business. You know what I mean? It's focused on results. Now, the opportunity part of it all, guys, is very important, where you got to really ask yourself, well, what opportunities are you giving your potential customers, your potential clients? What opportunities are you providing for them? And I want y'all to really think about it. You know, are you providing them opportunities or a platform or a space where they could freely discuss, you know, what's on their mind? Are you offering them, if you're a business coach, are you offering them opportunities to be able to get on your platform and speak? Are you doing live or in-person events or whatever? What opportunities are you giving them? Resources, you know, they don't have to search for on their own. They just leverage you to be able to go to you as sort of like a hub of information, because you're going to definitely give them the information that they want, need, and have to have, right? Opportunities are very important. That really helps with your retention. It really helps where making sure that you keep people in your world, in your space, and paying you over and over again, or sending people to you, referring people to you to pay you. That's very, very important. Now, impact is important as well. You know, impact has a lot to do with you as a woman, you know, your identity. I want to shift it all, because it's like impact and identity. You know, I always tell people, your identity, the way you feel right now in this space of fear and all these things, that's not your identity. That's just a moment of feeling or emotion, right? Your identity is the woman that you really perceive yourself as. You know, like the woman that's stepping outside of how she grew up, or what she thought about herself 10 years ago. Like, we're in a new decade. We're in a new decade, guys. Like, where do you see yourself 10 years, 20, 30? That needs to be your focus. You think that all this is going to be going on in 2030? No. I think people really need to understand that, you know, we have a lifetime of ups and downs, and a lifetime of successes. And it's like people are living in the now, but in a wrong space, living in the now. This is 2020 is the beginning of a brand new decade. you know, and do you want this to be an opportunity where your business like goes to the grave, or do you want this to be an opportunity where you help resurrect people from their current situations, their current circumstances, and things like that? That is so important. So when you know, and I want you guys to work on this today, when you know your ROI, the results, the opportunity, and impact, your wording is going to, how you word yourself on your lives and your posts is going to change overnight. It's going to change overnight. It's going to be like a totally different Sasha, a totally different Mimi, right? Those of y'all who are on here, it will change, because now you're sort of getting blind to what's becoming now blind to what's going on in the world, and now you're transitioning to now the decade Sasha, you know. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's what, or the decade Mimi, like that's what you're transitioning to, y'all. Y'all, are y'all drinking coffee? This is Coffee with Coach. Are y'all getting this? Are y'all getting this? And I get it. I'm not taking any situation from anybody. I get it. Everybody's being affected by what's going on. But here's the biggest thing I want you guys to understand, and go back to the Lord's Prayer, right? Part of the Lord's Prayer is understanding the things that you can't change, right? And only focus on the things, thank you, Mimi, only focus on the things that you have the power, the control, right? The opportunity, the assignment to in fact change, right? I can change the fact that people are feeling the way they're feeling because of what's going on. I can't change that. I can't change people's behaviors. I can't change people's mindsets. If their mind is closed, their mind is closed. I can only have control over what I have control over. That's it. That's what I have control over. And when we stop putting other people's mess on us, and it's family mess, friends mess, whatever, when we stop putting other people's mess on ourselves, we don't feel as if we're being bombarded or feeling like it's so heavy, because we do, as women right now, we are taking on everyone's obstacles, everyone's issues, everyone's sadness, everyone's story. We're taking it on right now. Really, we have to make us important. You know, like I woke up this morning, and you guys know I have 4 kids, I'm pregnant and everything. And my husband was like, babe, can you make me waffles? I said, no. I got to get up. I have to, you know, I have my routine. I have my thing that I do is Monday. I was like, you can go in there. No, first he asked me, am I making breakfast? I said, no, I'm not making breakfast today. Absolutely not. What do you mean? You know? I'm not making breakfast. You can make breakfast. Like the bacon's in there, eggs, waffles. I was like, I actually told him, I said, you should be making me breakfast. Because in a couple of hours, I got to start helping. I got to do work my business. I got to help the kids with their homeschooling. Like, I always think about now what I have to get done instead of focusing on what I need to do for other people. And it's an amazing transition I had. You know, because in the past, me thinking that way, I would feel bad. I would feel as if I was being selfish. You know? So I woke up this morning, I said, you know, I got to make sure I feed myself. Because if I don't feed myself, it's not good. I got to make sure that I at least drink my 2 to 3 bottles of water early in the morning so I can, you know, get hydrated early on. Because I know how I am. If I wait till the afternoon, I'm probably going to drink 1 bottle. And I really have to, I'm supposed to be having 16.9 ounces of bottles a day. You know? And I have to take care of me. Sasha said, I love that question. Ha ha ha. My husband says that too. Babe, you cooking? Are you food? No, I said you should be cooking. I mean, I got dinner. Like, I'll make dinner. I have no problem. Actually, I start cooking dinner around 3 p.m. every day. I don't mind because that's my downtime anyway. So I'll sit in the kitchen. I bring in my chair. I bring in my tablet. I watch reruns of True Blood. True Blood is my show. Okay, if y'all didn't know that about me, fun fact, I am a True Blood girl. Okay, True Blood in The Office. Okay, I'll watch reruns over and over again, never get tired of any episode. So, and I'll cook my dinner. I cut my onions, all that stuff, and by what, 5, dinner's done. I leave it on the stove, whatever, or I put it to the side on the counter, and I tell my kids, my oldest son, I say, okay, at 6 o'clock, you can make everyone's plate. Y'all should have seen me before. Go crazy with setting the table, putting the the table mats under each plate, and it's a lot of work. You know what I'm saying? So I'd be like, y'all are old enough to make your plate and make your younger brother and sister plate as well. Everyone right now has to work as a team. I'm not tolerating people who are not going to pull their weight at all. Everyone has to, all hands on deck right now, right? So it's yeah, demanding what you demand. I get it. It's hard. It is for some of us. I get it. Some of us have some really stubborn husbands. We got to retrain and reprogram our kids now to the current time right now. I get it. It's a uphill, slow process. Trust and believe. I know. I have a West Indian husband. I freaking know. Okay. So, but knowing that, you got to understand and say, listen, well, if you're not going to help me or you're not going to do this is what I'm going to take away, because I have to focus my attention on the things that I need to focus on, not what you want me to do. So it's changing your perspective. But going back to the whole ROI, guys, so important that you got to really touch points on that. Sasha said, I was the same way. It was very hard to change out of that. Yeah, it's very hard. I like to look. I like the looks I get when I first started doing that. Oh yeah, the looks, the you getting ignored sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not easy. But once you get to that point, you got to be serious too. That's one thing. You got to be really serious and intentional about the fact that this is a family. And what does family mean? We work together. We rise up together. The mom doesn't lead. The dad doesn't just lead. It's both. And the children. That's the only way families can function, is that everybody has to pull their weight. Everyone has to help. Everyone has to contribute. And it's not just money. Like, I remember when me and my husband and I first started doing therapy, and he only thought this way because that's how he grew up, and thinking that because you have a job and you provide on the financial sense, then that means that, that's it. I didn't grow up like that. My father was very different. My father was a very good provider, but he also made sure that the family works as a team. So he would cook, he would clean, and we would all do it together. It wasn't no hierarchy thing going on there. You know what I'm saying? It's like, we all did it together. You know what I'm saying? So it's a difference of opinion when you're with someone who grew up like that. You have to sort of, again, reframe their mind, sort of change their perspective by telling them why we have to do things this way, and how it's not just a benefit for you, it's a benefit for everybody. You know what I'm saying? It's a benefit for everybody. And always will be. That's important. Like, my kids get up, they have to do their chores. They got up, they vacuumed, they swept the floor, they mopped the floor. We had laundry left over, so they folded it up and put it away. Like, just imagine if I did everything. I wouldn't be able to do this live. I would not have been able to do this live right now if I had to get up and just cook for everybody, make their plates, put away the laundry, vacuum the floor, sweep the floor, mop, clean the kitchen, clean the bathroom. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would not be able to be on this live. I'd be going crazy. But yeah, I get it. We don't have to be superwomen in a technical term of superwoman. We could make our own version of a superwoman and what that means. Which means that if you feel that you don't have to do everything, you can delegate, then so be it. But if you want to take on that armor, on that role of doing everything, then that's a burden that you have to bear and deal with the consequences of it as well. We all had to at one point of that. right? So did this help you guys? All this, the information. I know I went off into a tangent just now. I'm sorry. Again, I'm going to really be showing up more exclusively in this group to do Coffee with Coach, because I really know that you guys really need to hear this information firsthand, right? But yeah, let me know if this helped. If you guys have any questions, feel free to let me know. If you guys didn't grab my workbook yet, go to CampbellSuccessNetwork.com, grab it. I'm going to send another email blast out right now to make sure that you guys have the downloadable copy. It's really easy to download. I put it up on Dropbox. You just click the link and it just uploads. You can save it to your Dropbox, which I encourage you to do that, just in case you happen to delete information out of your phone or off your computer. Just save it to Dropbox so you have it forever. Because the thing is about the workbook is that you're going to start to get into the habit of printing it out all the time, because and make sure you print it out in black and white, because I don't want y'all to waste all your printer ink, because I know I have a lot of colors going on in there. But you're going to be using it more often, a lot. So, and it allows you to create a system that you can hand off eventually to your team, when you do start to, delegate things out and stuff like that. Okay? All right, y'all. I think y'all all are good. I'll see y'all in the morning. So I'm going to be coming on live. I'm going to say in between the times of 10 and 11. Okay? Every day this week. I'm not going to show up probably on the weekends, though, but I'll definitely show up every day this week from between 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, guys, thank y'all for watching. As always, don't forget, get out there and dominate, because it's time to design a life that you deserve. Bye, guys.